Hello and welcome back. I am the Coastal Lamb and today I am going to be reviewing Nemesis Inferno, a BnM Invert located at Thorpe Park. Is it better than Nemesis Reborn, its sister coaster at Alton Towers? Find out in this review. Now, Nemesis Inferno opened back up at Thorpe Park in 2003 and was part of the almost thrillification of Thorpe Park, from the family park it was known for to the thrill capital of the UK. In 2002, Thorpe Park added Colossus, the world's first 10 looping coaster, and then 1 year later they added Nemesis Inferno. There is already a review up for Colossus on the channel, so do check that out if you are interested after. Now, Nemesis Inferno is the sister coaster to Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers. They are both BnM Inverts. However, with Nemesis Reborn having a very unique layout, Nemesis Inferno has a very standard layout in terms of BnM Inverts go. It's still a very thrilling layout, however, it does get a little bit repetitive after a while, and it's definitely one of the smaller inverts as well. Now, the overall atmosphere of Nemesis Inferno is obviously themed to a erupting volcano, and the ride does a pretty good job of that through its theming from the station, the overall surrounding area to make you think you're in a jungle. It does that very well with lots of planting, lots of trees, lots of grass, and lots of very well grown in plants. And then the station itself, and also part of the queue after the batching system, from where you merge from the main queue, fast track and ride access pass. The part after that, up to the station, is all on a volcano. Now, this volcano is built around a metal shipping container and is it's good. I like it. I think it's well done. I think the exterior is very well done. The rock work on it is very nice, and also it does have a sort of some mist effects sometimes. If it's quite warm outside, they'll have mist sort of spurting up out of some of the cones on the volcano as well, which is a nice effect, especially on a hot day. Now, the overall queue for Nemesis, it's a queue you don't mind really waiting in. There's not too much shade. However, the queue itself, you get lots of views of the coaster, which is really what you want. There are a couple of rides at Thorpe Park which don't really do that, which in my mind isn't really the best. But in terms of the queue, Nemesis Inferno, it's alright. It's not the best, but it's definitely okay. Now, the station for Nemesis Inferno, okay. It's not very good, is it? Let's be real. It's definitely one of the weaker stations. When you look at what they did for Nemesis Reborn in 2024, the whole transformation, the whole reimagining of that, from OG Nemesis to Reborn Nemesis, you've got lights, you've got pulsing veins, you've got cartilage, like bones around. You have a pretty good dispatch effect on Nemesis Reborn as well. Inferno doesn't really have any of that, to be quite frank. Inferno doesn't have any of that at all. It's a black box. It's a shipping container. It's a black box. You've got like some air cannon, not air cannons, some like sound wave cannons at the top, which make the music like really like pulsing almost. And the music for Nemesis Inferno is actually really well done. I think it's definitely one of the better soundtracks that IMAscore and Merlin have done. However, I wouldn't say it's my favourite. Hyperia still gets soundtrack for that. It's still good. However, I think it's better than something like Saw, which doesn't really in the same park, which doesn't really have a soundtrack. Yeah, I think Nemesis Inferno Station needs a bit of a reimagining. I don't really know how they're going to do it, but it needs some sort of reimagining. I think like a dispatch effect of like fire or something, or like the volcano erupting or something. I think that would be really cool. But obviously that costs money, and Merlin aren't in the best financial state at the moment, are they? Now you dispatch. You've got your 7 rows of 4 as your standard BnM Invert, and comfortable over-the-shoulder restraints. Nemesis Inferno is very smooth, and there's very little headbanging on Nemesis Inferno at all. And it's actually, I've only really had maybe 2 rides on it when I've come off and thought, yeah, that was quite rough, or that I hurt my head a few times. Yeah, Nemesis doesn't really do that, and it doesn't have a rattle. It's very smooth. Unlike its sister over at Towers, it doesn't have a rattle at all. Yeah, there is a pre-lift section to Nemesis Inferno, and that is you're sort of going through the volcano. Got a lot. It's a very simple S bend. You've got smoke. You've got I say you've got smoke. You've sometimes got smoke. You've sometimes got lighting. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll have both. Sometimes you'll get one or the other. Sometimes you won't get any at all. It just really depends how Nemesis is feeling that day. And then you climb the 95-foot lift hill, and you have a fairly steep drop. I prefer this drop to Nemesis Reborn's drop. However, I've only done 3 inverts in the entire world: Nemesis Inferno, Nemesis Reborn, and also Black Mamba over at Phantasialand. Now, I prefer Black Mamba's drop over all 3. I think Black Mamba's is just spectacular, and it's really hard to describe, but you get airtime at the back on Black Mamba. You don't on Nemesis. It's hard to explain, but anyway, you have a fairly steep drop getting you to 50 miles an hour and into a vertical loop. The loop's good. I like the loop. It's probably my second favourite inversion on the ride. You then are whisked up into a 0G roll. This is quite whippy. It's not as whippy as Reborn's, but it's still a good element on the ride. And then you go down, you turn to the right, you flip into your first of 2 corkscrews. These corkscrews are interlocking corkscrews. I believe this was the first ride to have interlocking corkscrews as well, so that's quite a cool element off ride, and also on ride if you're at the front. If you're anywhere but the front, maybe row 2 as well, you don't really notice it. So it's definitely an off ride element that looks cool. And then you have a small turn up and then to the right, whipping into your second corkscrew. Then you have a massive turn to the right, a bit of a helix, and then you descend down, have another helix up, which is surprisingly forceful. You know, it's the end of the ride, you think, oh, it's meandering off a bit now. Nope, the last turn on Nemesis Inferno, do not underestimate it. And then you hit the final brakes, so it's definitely a short ride. Don't get me wrong with that, it's definitely a short ride, but it packs a punch. And I actually really enjoy it. I really like Nemesis Inferno, and it's my 3rd favourite coaster at Thorpe Park. Yeah, I'm going to get probably a bit of a roasting in the comments for that, but I think Nemesis Inferno is the 3rd best coaster at Thorpe. I think Stealth and Hyperia beat it. There's quite a big gap between Stealth and Nemesis, but I think Nemesis is the 3rd best ride at Thorpe Park. It's just how I think, and you know, I know that quite a lot of other people disagree with me. I think most of the theme park community disagrees with me. But the final thing, is it better than Nemesis Reborn? No, no. Nemesis Reborn is better, both in the thematic styling and also the ride experience. I like Reborn more. I never got to ride the original Nemesis, so Reborn is my only my only experience of Nemesis. However, I do enjoy both. However, Nemesis Reborn gets it slightly over from me. So what would I rate Nemesis Inferno? I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. I think that's solid. It's not brilliant, but it's very, very good. So I'm interested, what do you think of Nemesis Inferno at Thorpe Park? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time for another review of Saw the Ride at Thorpe Park, where I have some very interesting comments to say about Saw. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.